Okay, guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is James Caldwell. I am reporting here for spillitboy.com. This is American Horror Story Freak Show, and this is episode 1. Now, I actually just really quickly, I wasn't actually even a fan of this whole series. I actually came in at the end last season of Coven, and I absolutely loved it. Witches and voodoo and all that shit, that's just right down my alley. So I actually loved it. So when they started doing the advertisements for Freak Show, hey, I'm all in. So here we go. We start off, basically, it's in Jupiter, Florida, and it's based in 1957. Now, the first thing that actually happens is the milkman actually finds Mrs. Tadler dead. He comes in, he notices that there's some milk basically on the porch that has never made it into the house from the last visit. And it was kind of spoiling and all of this because they're out on this farm. So he takes himself one into the house and he's calling her Miss Tadler, this, that, thing, and the other. And as he gets in there, he sees Miss Tadler's ass is gone, baby. Somebody done shanked the shit out of her. She laying on the floor with her feet sticking out from under the table. They done fucked Miss Tadler clean on that. So I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking we're going to cut to another scene, but we're not. We basically cut here, this nabby motherfucker that took himself because he heard something upstairs. So he goes and he's on his way on upstairs. You ready for this? With a rolling pin. I don't know what the fuck he was getting ready to do with this rolling pin when you already see somebody that shanked the fuck out of her. But you going on up there with a rolling pin. You go ahead, Annie. The milkman. He goes on up there. He discovers something up there, and you're like, what the hell is it? When we go to the next scene, we actually see this body being pushed in on a gurney into the hospital. And you're looking, and the toenails are painted. I'm like, child, what's going on with the motherfucking milkman? But anyway, they get in there. Then you start seeing the doctor actually talking to the nurse, and he's saying 1 bladder, 2 kidneys, 4 lungs, 2 hearts, a shared circulatory system, and there's photos there. You know, they have like an x-ray and you're seeing the torso, and it's just crowded with shit. And so we're saying, okay, well, what the hell is really going on here? We move on and we see this good old sharp bitch moseying her way on through the hospital. Here it's Elsa, played by Jessica Lange, okay? She's clean as hell with this white and black monkey fur coat on. And she's just done. So she comes on in. She has this French accent. And she's just very, very much. You know, she's giving, all that. So we're like, okay. She made her way. And she ends up, there was a little thing where there was 2 nurses outside. Well, not nurses, I'm sorry. They're candy stripers, basically. And the one candy striper was like, baby, if I'd ever gave birth to anything like that, I would have killed it in the bathtub. And she's laughing and carrying her, you know, real flip mouth bitch. So, they end up going on. She ends up left by herself because the other girl told her, you better stop that because if Miss whoever it is hears you, you're going to get in trouble. So Elsa ends up speaking to the flip mouth one and ends up working her way into the room. Now, we don't see her anymore, the candy striper, and I'm wondering, well, how the hell did she get her outfit? So I said, maybe she killed her or something. You know, come on, this is American Horror Story. Ain't no telling. I said, maybe she fucked the bitch up, killed her, and that was it. Move on. Elsa gets back there. When she gets back there, she pulls the curtain. It's a set of twins. Siamese twins. Basically, they have 2 heads. One of the heads' name is Bet. The other head's name is Dot. They're sharing the same body. Bet is the nice twin that basically she can see the forest through the trees. And she's, you know, she's like all hopeful and she loves movies and this, that, thing, and the other and all of that. Dot is the mean-ass twin who basically doesn't trust anybody. And she's given, what are you doing? What are you here for? And all this. So Elsa plays the game for a while with them. She kind of goes on and she leaves, and then she comes back the next day and she talks to him a little bit more, and she just, you know, she's really getting through to the more easy of the two twins. Well, they get to this whole conversation, and Elsa asks the one, she says, well, you girls, such beautiful girls, beautiful twins. She says, well, has anybody ever tasted your cherry pie? Because I know you all have one reproductive system. Has anybody tasted your cherry pie? And the one's giving you, what are you talking about? And they can actually speak to each other, you know, and you can't hear them. You know, they can think back and forth, and they both can conversate that way. And she's giving the nice one, and she says, no, you know, she's really, you know, she's all embarrassed about everything. She says, because even when I take and I touch myself, she closes her eyes and pretends like she doesn't feel anything. But I know she does. And I think she likes it. And Elsa sitting there like, okay. And the other twin, the main twin, Dot says, shut your mouth, you filthy slut. And they just go on. I mean, they just battle. And I just can't even imagine having to share a body with another bitch that's all mean all the time. And then I'm nice all the time. I got both personalities. I'm mean sometimes and nice sometimes. But I couldn't imagine having to battle with myself. That's a hot mess. But anyway, so naturally, like I said, Elsa's getting through to the nice one. And the mean one's giving, you know what? Bullshit. What do you want? Why are you here? This, that, thing, and the other. And then she told you, get out of this room. And all of this. She brought him a dress and all this. And then she basically gets him. When she comes in the one day, she's dressed in her regular clothes, clean as hell. And she says, you know, you girls ought to get your stories together. Because the police are going to be coming for you. They're going to be coming to arrest you because I already know what's really going on. She had it all down. She knew exactly what happened. She told her, she said, the nice one, she said, you know, there was a whole argument where the mother was telling them, you know, this, that, thing, and the other, and treating them bad and telling them, you know what, we were living on this farm because of y'all, and if people knew what was out here at this farm, this, that, and the other, do you remember when we had to leave in the middle of the night, and this, that, and the mother was really mean. And I guess Bet had enough of it on that day and told the mother, she says, you know what? She said, I want to go to the movie and I want to see it in beautiful Technicolor. And I want to go now. And she ends up and the mother smacks her face. Well, that wasn't a real good idea because the nice twin really ain't all that nice. She's the one that took and shanked the fucking shit out of the mother. She shanked her and shanked her and shanked her and fucked her ass up. That was that. So, in the time before that, in the time after that, before the milkman found everything, they're laying in the bed one night, and Dot, the main twin, took a pair of scissors and stabbed Bet to get the whole plan going. You know, she was trying to create a alibi for them because they told the story that there was a man that came in, and the man is the one who killed the mother and all of that. But I don't know how, but Elsa knew all of that. So I'm sure we'll figure that out later, what's going on with Elsa. But Elsa knew all of that. Let me go back a little bit. Elsa gave a business card to the candy striper girl that basically invited her out to this place where Elsa had, where it basically is a circus. And this is what's going on with Elsa. Elsa is literally, she has like a circus, and she's taking and inviting acts in. It's a freak show circus. So she's out finding acts and taking them back to the circus. Well, she sent the candy striper girl on out there, and she gave her a Lucky Strike cigarette. She said, we're not allowed to smoke it here. She said, girl, it's good. And she smoked it, so then we didn't see her no more. So it was like, okay, that's fine. So Elsa basically did kind of blackmail the twins into going on out to the circus. Because other than that, they're going to jail. You know, so that was that. So they agreed to go with her. So I'm like, okay, cool. So then we move on. Okay, to the next scene is a little bit later. There's this guy and this girl. They're out out basically, not really in the woods. It's like a really wide open space. They're laying on the blanket, baby, and she's giving, come on and put it up in me now, honey. She wanted to have this sex with this little guy. The little guy was all, you know, he was a nice little prudish little guy. She was a hot tramp, baby. She wanted that thing up in her, okay? So she went on and all this. So he tells her something, and he walks back to the car. Now, the car's parked further over, and it's behind, like, this bush. So in that time, and I believe she probably was taking her panties off. I thought she was trying to slide her panties off because she had the real cute little skirt with the crinoline and all that underneath. And she's straightening up the blanket, baby. She's waiting, baby. She got the boxes. Boxes hot and ready, honey. She just said, oh, I stole these condoms and this, that, the other. So I'm thinking maybe he was putting the condom on back there. Whatever. I don't know. He was doing something, but he was back there. So in the distance, behind this bitch, you see this clown come out. Now, let me tell you, I've never been one that's been afraid of clowns. I never understood people who had this thing where they were so afraid of clowns. I'm like, a clown is a clown is a clown. What the fuck is the big deal? Even when you have like the scary face clowns, like, fuck that clown. Ain't nobody got time for it. Well, baby, let me tell you about this clown they got up on here, up on Freak Show, honey. I cannot do that clown. That clown is too many things. You hear me? He got the real ugly face, like the ugly, that thing in the teeth girl place. I can't do him. He got a lot of shit with him, okay? And he got the jagged teeth and all that stuff. And you're thinking it's like the mask. It's not the mask. That's his fucking face. I can't do that clown. That clown got too much going on. But he comes over and he's got to be like 7 feet tall, okay? So just his stature is like, oh, child, no. I can't fuck with that clown. But anyway. So he comes over to her, and she's like scared, but she's like standing there, and he's like doing little tricks and giving her little flowers and stuff, and she's like, okay, you know, whatever, this, that, the other. Then he pulls out the little things where he's going to juggle, the little wooden juggling things. Well, then he's kind of startled, because then the guy comes back around, and the guy's like, what do you want? You know, this, that, thing, the other. Well, that set him off. He took the motherfucking wooden things and gave them clack, 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 and knocked the shit out of them. They both were stretched out on the ground. Well, then you see the girl, she got a little, you know, just worried and cold cocked her a little bit, just a little taste. And she's waking up, and you hear this chunk, chunk, chunk. And she looks over, baby, the clown is on top of the guy with these old rusty ass fucking scissors or something, and he is fucking him up. Just down in his chest. She screams, jumps up, and she's running. Of course, she failed. You know that whole thing. She failed and shit like that. And that's what I'm telling you, how the motherfucking clown got to be like 7 feet tall. That motherfucker stood up and he started galloping after her and shit. You didn't even get away from him because he's too motherfucking tall. I can't do that, clown. I hope we don't got to see too much of him. I don't have that motherfucker to do. Trust. Anyway, so that was that. They didn't show him kill her or anything, so I'm like, okay, well, whatever. So, but you know, you knew what the fuck she got. You knew she got fucked up. So that was that. So then we go to the next thing where Elsa got her crazy ass at this restaurant. Funny as hell. She's at this restaurant. There's this guy in there that she actually knows. You can tell she knows him. He's over there flirting with one of the little waitresses. So Elsa gets up, goes over there and says, asks him about, do they know all about you, this, that, and the other? Why don't you light this, this lighter for me? I'm having a hard time. So, I'm like, what the fuck is that all about? But whatever, he got mad at her, looking at her and all this. And, he's like, bullshit, just whatever. So he got a little pissed off. He leaves out. The girl ends up asking Elsa, and you see he has these big gloves. He has like gloves, like leather gloves. He's a cute little guy, but he had like leather gloves on and he leaves. So Elsa says, okay, she says, I'm getting ready to go. She puts her little monkey fur coat on and she's ready to roll. Okay, she's ready to roll. So she takes, and the girl says, ma'am, are you going to take care of your bill? Baby, Miss Elsa, I told you she's crazy. She looked at the bitch and said, honey, stars never pay. Bye. And march the fuck on out. Elsa crazy. She's stuck in her own crazy, okay? She goes on out. So then it moves on Now you see who the little guy is, little cute guy that was in the little thing. And he looks like a little cute, like a little greaser. Kind of remind you of one of the characters from The Outsiders. But you go to this party and there's this girl. She's really, really nervous. She's like a young girl. Nervous. But she's at this like socialite gathering, which looked like a Tupperware party, like the ones they used to have back in the day, in the 50s. And all the ladies are dressed up. Then you see this fat bitch. She come on out, baby. She got her little, hoop skirt and all them things on. And she just fat. She just grinning and smiling, baby, and got her shoes in her hand. And she's leaving. And the girls, they say, oh, my turn. I said, girl, it's your turn, honey. So the girl's like nervous. She's like, go on, honey. Don't be nervous. Everything's fine. Go on back there, honey. So she's going on back to the room, and she gets back there, and she's like, okay. So the little cute guy's laying on the bed, baby, and he's giving, come on in here, girl. I ain't going to hurt you. Come on up in here. So he's a gigolo, basically. He's a gigolo. She goes up in there, baby. She lays back on the bed. She's this little pretty yellow dress with the white crinoline. I'm living. I'm like, hey, girl, with all that. Baby, he stands up in front of her, baby, with his little cute self, and held his hand up, baby. His hands are like lobster claws. It's like in two parts. It's like a lobster claw. And it kind of looked like rabbit ears. If you don't know what I'm talking about, honey, go check out some sex toys, honey. Go check out Miss Candy's line of sex toys or any sex toys if you see rabbit ears, okay? And he pulls his claws up, baby, and he puts his hand up underneath her skirt, baby, and gives her the motherfucking business. And she's giving a woo, woo. So I'm like, are you kidding me? So this is the party they're having. See, I've said in one of my other videos, them old bitches back in the day was a mess. When you thought them bitches was playing bridge and all that shit, they wasn't playing no motherfucking bridge. They was meeting with motherfucking claw hand motherfuckers to play with your pussy and doing all that shit. And they was having gigolos and sucking each other's pussies and shit back in the day. Them old whores was a mess, honey. And I've talked about that in another video when I was really being serious. It wasn't no review. Them old bitches was a mess. They had all kind of little secrets. But anyway, that's what was going on. Wasn't no motherfucker selling no Tupperware for real. They wasn't buying no dishes. They was back there getting their pussies tore up by the claw boy. So that's what, he's a freak. And I'm like, the thing is, when he pulled that hand out, I'd have never got to the other end of it, baby, because he wouldn't have put that hand up nowhere near my genitals, trust. But anyway, girlfriend had a happy ending, okay? And that was that. So that he's part of the circus as well. You see Elsa talk to him later and ask him, did anybody see you leaving there? This, that, thing, and the other, whatever. So they're making this money. Here, the guy that owns the grounds that they're actually staying on had come to Elsa and told Elsa that it was time for them to move on. And she's like, you gave me a year's lease. Because naturally nothing was going on out there in Jupiter, Florida. And he said, but you just got to go. You can't stay. My wife is saying, the freaks being on the ground is giving her nightmares at night. And she just need to go. And he said, there's this other gospel thing coming in. And they pay in, they were paid up in full. And they paid in cash. This, that, and the other. So Elsa was kind of pissed with that. And then at that time, she's out there hanging laundry. She got this little lady. Cute little lady. And she is literally a little lady. The bitch is about this big. And she, in her voice, she says, Miss Elsa, so on. And she's picking the little garments. But she says, it's pretty. She's little and weird, honey. And she looks like a, she's probably of some type of Indian descent. But she's a cute little ugly little thing. But anyway, and got that little voice that she's running across the table. The one time I said, Miss Elsa. I said, oh, she's a mess. I like her. But anyway, so she was there and he told her shit to go. Child, Elsa, now Elsa's all of 70 years old or so, if not more. But the bitch be all done up, right? That bitch, she gonna try to woo the man up into the damn tent. Come on up in my tent. I said, bitch, Miss Elsa, you are too much. But he wouldn't go. He wanted him off the grounds, this, that, thing, and the other. But they hadn't done any moving yet or anything. Oh, and the guy with the claw hand, his name is Jimmy Darling. So, which is naturally Jimmy Darling. He sounds like a gigolo. But anyway, so we go on. Next thing you know, we see the motherfucking clown again. Now, I done already told y'all I can't fuck with that clown. The clown, this time, these people were up in their house sleeping, minding their motherfucking business. Honey, the man gets up out the bed to go to the bathroom. And why did he do that? He goes out the door and straight on down the bathroom. Well, behind him, that motherfucking clown in they goddamn house. I said, I told you I can't fuck with that clown. So then the clown kills him, gets on there, does the to the wife, laying in the bed. Then they had this little boy. He got to be maybe about my son's age, about 7, about my baby's age. Snatches him out the bed. And I'm like, oh, he done fucked up the baby. Anyway, so then that's that. Next thing you see, the baby is in a cage. There's this like camper. The baby's in a cage. And the girl who was running, she's in the cage. They're in 2 cages together. She's trying to get the little boy to eat and everything. And the little boy told her, he killed my family, this, that, thing, and the other. So he ends up, the clown comes in. He's trying to do tricks for them. And they're just looking at him. And of course, they're like scared to death. And because they've seen him commit these murders. And he was like performing for them. And I don't know if he's calling himself, gathering himself an audience or what he's doing. But it's like he's just crazy. He was doing something that he was trying to do a trick with a balloon. And the balloon popped. And it threw him off. And then he just went crazy. And he starts kicking their cages and all of this. I'm like, fucking, I can't do that, clown. Anyway, so that was that for him. Last you seen him, he was going off. He was kicking their cages and all that. I know, guys. There's so much to it. So much that goes on. But I'm going to try to wrap it up. I'm trying to keep you not keep you too long. Okay, so we go back to the goddamn tent. We see the candy striper girl. Well, undoubtedly, this bitch is hopped up out of her mind. They done got her all had to fuck up. She comes out. She's telling Elsa, I'm leaving here. I'm getting out of here. You all done kept me here, and I was drugged. And this, that, thing, the other. I'm going to tell everybody what you're doing out here. This, that, the other. And Elsa's like, you're not going to tell nobody nothing. You came out here. No one took advantage of you. You came out here and you went and you did all your erotic pleasures and you were fine with it. And the girl's like, no, I wasn't. I was drugged. Blah, 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 blah. Baby, Elsa clicked on the video. Well, it wasn't a video. It was a projector. They done filmed her. She done fucked everybody and everything at the circus. Oh, baby, they had that bitch doing back, head bent, sucking dick, turning over, laying that, a mess. They turned that bitch every which way but loose. You hear me? And got the little hooker on tape. So, I don't know what she gonna do, but whatever. They got all this footage on you, girl, carrying on. So, surely they won't be brought up on no charges because you was voluntarily fucking like that. Oh, nasty bitch. But anyway, moving on, we see Bet and Dot, the twins, and Bet, the nice one, is going on saying, she won't let me eat this, that, thing, and the other, her sister, because she's miserable. And they both keep a diary. So in the diary, you hear Bet's always writing about how wonderful everything is and how colorful and how she loves it. And the sister's like, I know I'm in the gates of hell. She's about right. But anyway, so they're talking to this bearded woman, honey. Her name is Ethel. It's Kathy Bates plays the part. Her name is Ethel. And she came in there and she told Dot, you are nothing more than an ungrateful bitch. Miss Elsa done saved you. And you know, this is what you do for repayment. You go on over there and eat before I beat your ass into the end of next week. I said, oh, okay. She said, to wear a beard on. Finds out later, Miss Elsa got her and brought her to the circus. And she's basically like her assistant. She kind of takes care of Elsa, makes sure she eats and all of this stuff. She's like a day worker type of woman, she was. But her and that beard was a mess. But you find out later, Ethel is Jimmy Darling's mother. And he basically is sick of the whole circus scene. He's telling the mother, we're not making any money. They don't even want us here. We need to move on. And she's like, no, Miss Elsa's good to us, this, that, and the other. So there's a little internal struggle going on there. And I'm sure we're going to see some more of that. So moving on. Okay. Okay, wrap it up. Here we go. We're wrapping up. The next thing that ends up happening later on that night, there's this guy, he's like a detective, and he done eased his ass up in the campground, and he done found Bet and Dot, which he's out there looking for them. Tell them, oh, you're going to jail, this, that, and the other. Well, Jimmy Darlin and a couple of the other freaks, because there's this one freak, she's real tall, just like a drag queen, basically, but she's real tall, you know, back then, child, freak. But they went on, and he was like, you're going to jail, this, that, the other, I'm going to bring the authorities, and blah, 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 blah. Well, it went on, went on, went on. They had a little argument going, baby, and then you saw, he said something to Jimmy and called Jimmy a damn freak. He said, you're just freaks, all of you freaks. Jimmy said, don't you fucking call us no freaks. Baby, and then you saw that the claws was good for more things than coochie, honey. Jimmy swiped one time, baby, and slit that motherfucker from ear to ear. Laid out on the ground, baby. Fucked his ass up. So, now his ass is dead. And then you look over, honey, that motherfucking clown done found him. So I don't know what they're going to do. I can't even imagine them even being able to handle him. But the clown had found him, and that's the last thing you see. You see him standing in the distance and all that. And they're really not making any money. You see, two people showed up, this boy and his mother. They was weird, honey. But they were out there. They did the whole show. They performed their asses off for these two people sitting in the audience. But it's a mess. I love this show. I absolutely love it. I know this review is a little bit longer, but there's so much to cover. I work on it and try to make sure I can keep you guys engaged with my my reviews. If you have any ideas, definitely let me know, because you know I don't usually go this long on a review. But anyway, thumbs up or thumbs down on the video. You guys know how that works. Leave me comments in the bottom and tell me what we can do to make this work, or if this works for you. But I'm really enjoying the show, and I want you guys to enjoy the review. So definitely shoot me some comments and let me know what you think. And guys, thanks again for watching. I will see you guys for the freak show next week. All right. Bye, guys.